What if your frequent need for alone time is not a social weakness? What if it is actually the clearest sign of a rare cognitive gift? For many, being alone is uncomfortable, something to be avoided. But for a select few, solitude is where the real work happens. It is not about that you are alone, but how your mind operates when you are. In the next few minutes, we will reveal the 5 genius-level habits that only emerge in solitude. And you might discover that your quiet nature is your greatest strength. Have you ever felt drained by social gatherings, only to be judged for needing time to recharge by yourself? In a world that celebrates constant social connection, this need for solitude can make you feel misunderstood or even flawed. But the habits you practice when no one is watching are not flaws. They are sophisticated cognitive processes that separate good minds from great ones. This is not just about thinking more or reading books. We are diving into the specific mental architecture used by some of history's greatest thinkers. We will even uncover the one habit most people mistake for laziness, but is actually a powerful tool for genius. So let us start with the first and perhaps most fundamental habit. It begins with how you talk to yourself. It is about becoming an internal monologue architect. Think about your own inner voice. Is it just noise, or are you building something? Most people's minds wander, but a highly intelligent mind in solitude does not just wander, it builds. This is not passive daydreaming. It is an active process of constructing and deconstructing arguments, running internal debates, and building complex mental models. Imagine using your morning commute not to listen to music, but to silently build a case for a new project at work. You anticipate questions, find the weak points, and strengthen your logic before anyone else ever sees it. This is not just thinking, it is cognitive architecture. If you find yourself structuring ideas in your head for hours, you are not just lost in thought, you are building worlds. The second habit is being a pattern synthesizer. While your mind is quiet from external noise, it becomes incredibly loud with internal connections. Think of your brain in solitude as a detective's corkboard, covered in seemingly random clues. There is a quote from a documentary you watched on Tuesday, an interesting comment a colleague made on Thursday, and an article you read this morning. To everyone else, they are just separate facts. But in the quiet of your own mind, you start seeing the threads of string connecting them. This is where true aha moments are born. It is the subconscious process of synthesis that allows for breakthroughs in creativity and problem solving. It is why your best ideas often strike you when you are doing nothing in particular. Your brain was busy connecting the dots all along. If this is resonating with the deep thinker in you, consider joining our community of curious minds by subscribing. We explore big ideas like this every week. But connecting ideas is only half the story. The truly rare minds use their solitude not just to understand the past, but to build the future, becoming an emotional simulator. Have you ever mentally rehearsed a difficult conversation or a big presentation over and over in your head? Many people dismiss this as anxious overthinking, but for a strategic mind, it is something much more powerful. You are running complex simulations. You are not just worrying, you are exploring branching outcomes. Think of it as a mental flight simulator for life's biggest challenges. In the safety of your mind, you can test out different approaches to a job interview or a talk with a partner. You can crash and burn a dozen times without any real-world consequences. This habit allows you to walk into high-stakes situations more prepared, confident, and emotionally regulated than anyone else. It is a form of high-level emotional intelligence in action. This brings us to our final habit, the one that resolves the mystery we opened with. This is the habit people mistake for laziness, which is the art of being a deliberate boredom seeker. We live in a culture of constant stimulation, where every spare second is filled with a podcast, a video, or a social feed. But the most creative minds actively fight this trend. They understand that the most productive thing they can do is schedule time to be deliberately unproductive. This is not about mindless scrolling. It is about true, undistracted boredom. A walk without headphones, staring out a window, or a long shower with no agenda are all examples. These moments of boredom are crucial because this is when your brain's default mode network kicks in. This is the state that allows for pattern synthesis and unexpected breakthroughs, just like Archimedes' eureka moment in the bath. Embracing boredom is not a sign of laziness, it is an invitation for genius to emerge. Knowing these habits is one thing, but turning them into a conscious practice is what separates passive thinking from active genius. Here is how you can start with a simple 3-step solitude audit. First, set an intention. Before you enter your alone time, ask yourself what your mind needs to process today. Second, curate your environment. This means actively removing digital distractions to create space for true boredom or deep thought. Third, practice reflection. After your solitude, take just 2 minutes to jot down any new ideas or feelings, training your brain to recognize the value of this time. So let us bring it all together. From architecting your thoughts and synthesizing patterns, to simulating the future and embracing boredom. These habits show that productive solitude is not empty time. It is a cognitive forge where raw information is turned into wisdom. At the beginning, we asked if your time alone could be a source of a rare cognitive gift. The answer is an unequivocal yes, and these habits are the proof. If this feels familiar, you are not weird or antisocial. Your need for solitude is not a social bug, it is a cognitive feature. You are simply operating on a cognitive level that requires focus, space, and quiet to do its best work. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. If you found value in this perspective, please like and subscribe to join a community that gets it. Embrace your time alone, and we will see you again soon.